Hey folks, welcome back to Three's In. Bobo here. So in the previous presentation, I introduced you to a couple crew chiefs that I worked with, one of them being Randy B. Now Randy was just an outstanding young fella. He was probably 26, 27 years old at the time, maybe a little younger, not sure. At any rate, Randy really enjoyed the great outdoors that Oklahoma has to offer. He was an avid fisherman and a hunter, and we talked about a lot of these things through my 4 years there. One of the things he introduced me to was this thing called noodling. Now, I'd never heard of that before. We just didn't do that in the circles I ran. But anyway, what the deal is, in case you haven't heard about it, is you go out to a stream, a little river stream. You don't want a big fast-flowing river, just kind of a nice little stream. One that you can get down into, ideally about waist-thigh to waist-deep. And you feel your way along the banks of the stream in the mud or the sand there. And you're looking for holes. And when you find a hole, you take your arm and you push it in the hole. The idea is there's a catfish sitting in there just waiting for something to come by and eat. Well, when you put your arm in, it clamps down on it, and then in one fluid moment, you pull the fish out of the hole and then flip it up on the bank. Now, we used to take a couple cases of beer while we were doing that, but I want to make something very clear here. In 1994, as I've mentioned before in previous videos, I entered the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I can tell you, I never drank enough beer to make me do something like that. That was way beyond my limit. So that being said, I just kind of walked along, picked up the fish if that were the case. Okay, so the story I wanted to tell you about Randy today was his passion for deer hunting. He just loved to go deer hunting. Every year, come August, late July, August, September, he'd start talking about his preparations for deer hunting. And I used to love to see the excitement in him. Well, this one year, just after he'd gotten married, he told his wife that he was planning on going deer hunting again, and she said, well, I'd like to go with you. Now, that was something Randy wasn't looking forward to, but what do you do? So he said, well, okay, have you ever been deer hunting before? And she said, no, but how hard can it be? And he said, well, you got a point. So he says, I'm going to get some pictures here, tape them to the refrigerator, and you study up on them deer. So he did. He cut out some pictures of deer and taped them to the refrigerator for about a month and a half or so. And then the big day came. So he got her all dressed up in her deer hunting costume, gave her her rifle, and took her out to the deer stand. And then he got her propped up there, got the gun there, and he said, now look, he said, this is just before sunrise. You can't shoot until sunrise, whenever it was. Might have been 30 minutes prior, I don't remember. Okay. And he said, I'll be about a quarter of a mile away. If you see a deer and shoot it, I'll hear it and come over and take care of it. She said, okay, fine. So Randy starts making his way over to his deer blind and deer stand. And just as he's getting set up, the sun's coming up nicely, he hears, "Kawapa!" Crap, she must have gotten a deer. Wow. So he goes racing back to where her stand was, and he hears, "Kawapa!" What the hell is that? And then he hears her call out, "Get away from my deer, you son of a bitch!" And he thinks to himself, someone's trying to steal her deer. Damn! So he breaks into the clearing, and there stands this cowboy. And this cowboy's standing there with his hands up, and he says, no, ma'am. He says, I'm not trying to steal your deer. He says, it's your deer. He says, you shot it all legal and right and all. He said, please. He says, I don't want your deer. He says, I just want my saddle off of it. So with that, I know it's kind of terrible. Bobo, bass gear, stop.